I just feel that Suburban needs to work on their communication with customers, and I feel like that was the really detrimental thing in my relationship with that company. I didn't have an issue with the price or the service. It was the lack of communication and the response to my issues with that. And I just really think that that's what has to change with them. So my husband and I just bought a house in June, and we have an oil tank in our basement so that we can heat the house. So we had to find a company to go through for oil. That's kind of where I messed up because I didn't do a lot of research. I just kind of looked at general reviews. I didn't go too deep with it, and I kind of heard some good things about Suburban, so I decided to go through them. And we have a family member who works there, in kind of like a third party kind of, We just decided to go with that company. When we first signed up, my husband had talked to them, and he didn't really want to get locked into a really long contract. And originally he was told that their contracts were a year, and then after a year you could choose to continue service with them or it would stop. And I'm pretty sure that our contract is 3 years, which we did not know. So that's frustrating. But anyway, so we went through this company. Originally, we agreed on $150 a month. They said that they made an estimation of how much fuel we would use and that they would base our budget off of that. And then that they would review it and then adjust from there. So I started making payments on our fuel account. I was paying $200 a month. Every 2 weeks for my paycheck, I just put $100 in there. And so I thought I was doing great. I thought I was ahead of the game. We got a fuel delivery. And then another one, and again, I make the mistake of not always checking the statements and everything. I do a lot of stuff online because it's convenient, and I was using their online service. They kind of, encourage you to do their online payment system. So I went online, and when you go onto the online dashboard that you originally sign into, it doesn't show a current running balance, which was really strange to me, and I didn't take notice of it. It shows your account, it shows so much other information, but not a running balance. It only shows what your last payment was. So I went in to go make a payment, and again, it doesn't show how much your total is, whereas most companies, they have do you want to pay your entire balance or do you want to make this payment? And they don't have any of that. So you actually have to go into My Transactions, which is kind of a side menu, My Account thing. I didn't even realize. So you go into there, and then on the side, it breaks it all down and what your current balance is. So we had a couple months go by. We had a second delivery, and I noticed the one day that our balance was way crazy. It was over $1,000, and I just lost it because I was like, how did this happen? It says I owe $1,000. I've been paying $200 every month. So I called. And I guess what had happened was, after a while, they had reevaluated our contract, and I was never that nobody ever notified me of that. And that's really what my main problem is with this whole thing, is that there's just a lack of communication, and that really is frustrating. Because I don't mind paying for services that I've used, and I know that I pay a little more sometimes, and that happens. If the quality is good, then I'm fine. But the fact that they're not open with their customers, I just kind of feel like I've been lied to and cheated a little bit. So they had rearranged our bill. So our payments went from $150 one month, and the next month our payment was $483. And that was what they changed our budget to. I didn't notice it because it doesn't indicate on your dashboard when you log in. There's nothing that says your payment's been adjusted. There's nothing that says, it doesn't even tell you what payment you have to make in that main menu. So it's so strange to me, and I should have looked more into it, but I thought I was doing the convenient thing, and I thought something like that they would alert you. So after communicating with the manager at Suburban in Albany, New York, where I live, it was just very frustrating because she seemed to just kind of want to change my opinion of how the transactions happened. I was just like, listen, the website isn't designed properly. If you want to encourage people to use this, I feel like it should be something that's easily used and that doesn't make it hard to know where you're at with your balance. And she said she agreed with me. I had said, we had to cancel our next delivery. We told them we don't want any more oil. They had another one coming, and we said we don't want it. We're not going to do it. We can't afford it. So that brought our payment down to 200 and something. So we're paying 200 and something every month, and we canceled our next delivery. And they kept acting like they were doing us a favor. They're like, oh, you know, we did you a favor and we got your payments down to 200 something. And I was like, we refused our next delivery. That wasn't you doing us a favor. So all of this happened. I posted a status on Facebook because I wasn't satisfied. I just said exactly what had happened, that our payments went over $300 more in 1 month. The cost of fuel went up from when we first signed up, it was $2.05 a gallon. By our next delivery, it was $3.17 a gallon. Again, no indication until you get your delivery bill that says, hey, you've already got this. So we didn't have a chance to say, you know, the price of fuel has gone up, maybe we should use less, or maybe, you know, and I should keep track of those things, but I don't. And now I know. But all of this had happened. I got 55 more gallons than I did the first delivery, and I paid almost $600 more. And that was just insane to me, especially, again, with no notification. So all this time, my account's going in the negative, and I don't know. And during this time, before I had found out that we're not making these payments and that they had grown, my husband and I had a cleaning that was scheduled, and they were supposed to come, and there was some confusion with that. So we had been back and forth on the phone with them a few times, and at no point did somebody say, like, hey, do you know that your account's in the negative? Or, hey, you know, your payments aren't being made. And nobody said anything. We talked to them plenty of times, and they had so many opportunities. And even, like, National Grid will call you and say, hey, you're not making your payments. So it felt like it was being hidden from me, and that was frustrating. So after I put the status on Facebook, the manager called me while I was at work and asked me basically to take the post down. She was like, I thought we ended our conversation on a good note, all of that. And I was like, we did, and you can't change your company's policy, and that's fine. I said, I just have a problem with the way they did business. That's it. So she asked me to take it down. I said I wouldn't. I told her I was done with Suburban Propane. This entire time that we had been paying, we were supposed to be getting a family discount, and that was found out at the end of all this. So that's our latest struggle. We just found that out probably about a week ago, that we were supposed to be getting a family discount that wasn't applied the entire time. So they told us, okay, we're going to apply it to your final balance, and then that'll be taken off. So then I don't know what made me check. I had a bad feeling that something like this was going to happen. So even though I had thought I paid off the account, I went back and I looked, and I see that we've still got a balance of over $600. And it was just insane. So I called them again, and the manager at that point, before, she was so friendly, but she got really almost snarky, and it was rude, and she was just like, Ashley, I'm not going to apply the discount if you're not going to continue service with us, which just infuriated me. I lost my cool. I was very upset, and I told them, I was like, you know, you've been overcharging us for 8 months, and now you're saying that I'm not entitled to that money, and that's not right. And it seems like an immature response to me telling you that I don't want to continue business. And I just think that's wrong. So I lengthened my post. I put a bunch of reviews everywhere, and we still don't know what's going to happen, but I just want to make sure that people know that they do these things, and you have to look into it. I'm not saying that the quality of their service is bad. I'm not saying that their product is bad. I'm saying that their communication is bad, and if you're going to sign up with them, you have to do the work, and you have to look into your payments, and you have to do all the things that any other person or any other representative would normally help you with, because they don't. It would truly be, I don't know, I hold a grudge, but it would truly be great if they updated their website and got in touch with all the other ones and just were straight up with people. You know, before you deliver a whole bunch of fuel when it's gone up $1 a gallon, maybe let people know, you know, the price of your fuel's going up, you need to look that up. It's the communication. That was really my main issue.